So any questions, etc., like usual, please? You can come forward. Sitting, so much. You want to create the impression of number, But I know how many you are, so it's all right. Yes, Tarsa, please. क्यों आपका कद इतना छोटा हो गया? You pushed it downwards. वालेकुम सलाम रहमतुल्लाह.
The Imam of the General Mosque, Maulana Tahir Ahmed,
Yes.
has given me this piece of paper,
Yes.
which contains 3 statements and 2 questions.
Right.
They all relate to atheism.
Yes.
If you allow, I would read these.
Yes, you can take up these one after the other, not necessarily in consecutively and in one sequence, but we'll see. If there are other questions, we can make a break in between, and if no other hand is raised, then we will permit you to continue with them. Right.
May I say here, sir, it says it's compiled by our friend, English friend Mr. Muzaffar Clark.
That's right. Once, I told him or sent him a message that he should keep on feeding us with such questions as are raised by the modern atheists, so that we can teach the Jamaat how to tackle such questions and handle them satisfactorily. Please go ahead.
The first statement here is, the scientific attitude today unmistakably asserts that there is nothing in the observable facts which suggests more than the facts themselves. The stars in the heavens, the electrons in their orbits, the facts of evolution, the behavior of chromosomes are, in strictly scientific terms, evidence for nothing but themselves. They do not point to something beyond themselves. If someone thinks they do, they are adding something to the facts, something from his own imagination or beliefs. This is not to say that his belief is not legitimate. It is simply that there is no common objective proof of what he sees beyond the facts. There is thus no scientific evidence for his vision.
Yes, please, ma'am. Here this question needs to be analyzed before we begin to answer it at length. First of all, what does the questioner mean by saying that nothing should be attributed to facts beyond the facts? The word beyond is, a word which can be interpreted in many ways. Number one, beyond may mean that no inference should be drawn which is irrelevant to the facts and to which the facts cannot lead. The other connotation of the word beyond is that your sight should stay to the surface of the facts, and it could not be permitted to delve deeper and draw inferences. So if it is the second beyond that he is using in this question, then it is the beyond itself is rejectable, because the entire science is based on seeing beyond the facts. Otherwise, there will be no science as such. There will be no development at all, no discovery whatsoever, because the fact of falling of an apple should remain there. Yes, that the apple fell. But why should Newton draw an inference that because the apple falls, so it means this and it means that, and so complete science is founded on the fact of and at the following. Why should the law of inertia develop on the fact that a thing moves and moves on? And all the calculations based on these things are things beyond facts, to which facts lead. But as far as the first connotation of the word beyond is concerned, we fully agree. No sane man can deny that facts cannot be interpreted beyond their limit. That is to say, should not be extended unjustifiably in the realm of wishful thinking. So every sane man would fully endorse this statement and agree with that. With this in view, to say that these facts which he has quoted don't lead to anything which is not visible, which is not palpable, is totally wrong. Because electrons in themselves are not palpable. They are not facts as he sees it. They are inferences. And they have been inferences for a very long time, and now they are closing upon detecting in electrons what they call directly, but every scientist would know and would support this, that it is still not a direct observation of electron which they observe with the experience, I should say. It is also based on inferences. And as far as the facts are concerned, let me quote a Russian scientist, a living scientist, a scientist who has written some very high standard books for college use, for university students and college students on physics. And I have forgotten his name, but I think I can lay my hand to that book. I remember having written home for that particular book to be sent to me, because it's a very interesting book, and I think it's one of the best books written on physics. He gives an illustration about the scientific facts. He says that as far as we in physicists are concerned, the facts we know are like somebody in a dungeon who is chained with his face facing the wall opposite the door, and he can't see anything directly what is happening outside. What he observes is only passing shadows, and from those shadows he infers what might be happening outside, and then he builds his own vision and says perhaps that is that. So if that correlates later on, his faith may strengthen in the correctness of his inference. But if something else happens, then confusions are created. But as far as our concept of the universe is concerned, according to as he goes on, it is nothing more than shadows cast upon that wall which we are facing, and we don't know who cast that shadow and how the shadow was cast and what is the reality behind. So that is again casting the shadow of doubt on the reality of things. But also it negates the argument which he is building, this scientific student is building. If there are no shadows to be followed or inferred, then there will be nothing except the faces of the fact, which don't mean anything. Water would just be water as we see. There won't be any hydrogen beyond it, oxygen, as a component of this. So obviously no sane man can consider such a universe and be satisfied with that. Man has to delve deeper beyond facts, but in relation to the facts. Without that,